Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. As you can see, I'm flying in the sky. This is fun. I don't know where I am at. But anyways, you recognize this from many of my videos that I have done. Like, many of my videos. From my first video to the tour of this area. This is what it looks like without the texture pack. It looks quite awful, honestly. But anyways, that's besides the point. I'm gonna be teaching you today how to make one of these buildings. Because as you saw in my tour of this place, this one was completely empty. And it still is. Because I haven't worked on it. And that was because I wanted to show you guys a tutorial on how I do medieval houses. I mean, the way I do them is okay. They're not the best, they're not the worst, they're just decent. But I will be doing it more detailed this time, hopefully. And I hope you guys can like follow along and like work on this as well. Especially if you want to build something medieval, this will be helpful. In Minecraft at least. Like even in survival. Anything works. But yeah. Let's jump straight into it. Now the first thing you want to do is lay out your main shape. I color coded this just so it's easier for you guys to do. But like, yeah, the first thing you want to do is lay out a rough shape of what kind of building you want. And from this shape, you expand onwards. So this is a very rectangular shape as compared to the other buildings I have here. And so therefore we're gonna have to expand upon this. So I'd recommend like leaving it as it is for now and then just kind of adding on to make it look more interesting, not just leave it plain. Maybe add like something at the back here, just kind of sticking out. So can do a shape kind of like this. Let's see how that works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's 6. Is it? I forgot already. Oh, wait, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's 6. Okay. Sorry about that. And then you kind of leave it like that. And I'm 1 block off, but it's okay. So you kind of just extend from the original shape. You get rid of this sort of thing. And just try to make it like a bit more interesting than what it already looks like. Because this by itself looks quite plain, doesn't it? So what I'd recommend as well is probably bring it inwards around here or something. Just to make the shape look more interesting than it already is. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's do the same on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. And bring it inwards. Wait, is it? Did I already mess up on this? Yeah, I did. Alright. So it goes up to this point. And then you just get rid of the wool that you had before. And now you see the shape is a bit more interesting. And from that point you can start your building. So yeah, let's get straight into that. Once you got the foundation down and everything, you start to build up your walls so they're kind of on the same level as the floor you're gonna make. And this is a step where you start rethinking your decisions if you want to maybe cut off some walls and like kind of make this building thinner or something. Kind of move the wall back a bit and break it. Just kind of make second decisions before you start making your build, because that's always better to do than being unhappy with the shape itself. So just go back, rethink your decision, and see if it was the right thing to do. Now as you see, like it doesn't look that bad, so I would probably just kind of make it a 3 block, so it just has more relevance to it than it did before. And just like that, I think I have the shape I relatively want for this build. So yeah, that's really all you do. Now for the next thing, you're gonna need these materials, stone brick, cobblestone, and that's it. So what you do on this step is you go level up all the walls, like I said, but then you start adding like a ruin sort of feel to your build, so it looks like it actually has been here for a while, because medieval times is back then, and you want to give it the vibe of that. So you just kind of go around the wall like this, just adding some cobblestone blocks to make like the texture look better, and just do that all the way around. It can be random, it doesn't have to be like too much cobble, it doesn't have to be too much stone brick, it's all your choice. So I wouldn't worry too much about like if you did it right or not, because there's no right or wrong way to do this. In fact, there's no like traditional way to do this either. So yeah, you just kind of go like that, and it makes it like just have a nice texture with the stone brick. So it's not just like plain boring stone brick, there's more to it than that. And yeah, that's it for this step. But after that, you're gonna start building your pillars. So on each corner, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up, and you leave it at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't connect the pillars quite yet, but you just kind of bring your pillars all the way up, and you do that all the way around. I'm gonna skip to the next segment because you know what you're doing. Just do it on like all the corners, don't forget any. And yeah, now that you have all your pillars in, what you want to do next is decide where the chimney is gonna go. Now for the chimney, I usually use granite and bricks because they just blend together well. So you can see here, I just kind of made it like this. It has a bit too much granite, but it still works. Like, it looks nice. And you also need acacia fence and acacia trapdoors, as well as a campfire in the middle, just to add that smoke effect. Really, there's no really other purpose to that. You don't have to be that detailed, but we're not going to build that part yet. What you want to do is just lay out where you want the chimney to be. So let's say this corner here is where the chimney is going to be. Oh, wrong block. You want to just kind of lay it out for now, and don't worry about it quite yet. We're gonna get to that sooner or later. But yeah, that's all you really want to do for this part. And from that, you can start building your pillars in between the pillars, if that makes any sense. So basically what you do is you decide if you want like pillars on this side, which I highly recommend that you just put as much pillars as you possibly can for this build, and just try to make it divided up. You can leave 2 block spaces and if you wish, but if you want to like add more stuff to like the builds, feel free to do that as well. And I also recommend putting one next to the pillar. Chimney. Pillar. Yes, pillar. Anyways, so just kind of do that on like all sides. Build up the foundation. Make sure it's like symmetrical if your build's like that. Like if there's like pillars like this on this side, make it like the same on the other side if it's symmetrical. But if it's not, you don't have to worry about that. But anyways, as you can see, I kind of am almost finished all the pillars. And after this, you can just do that. As you can see, like the pillars on the inside are not going all the way down to the bottom. That's because you don't want them to do that quite yet. And that's really all for this. And if you want to, because it's optional, you can connect the pillars right away. But you don't have to. You can do that even after we're done the other step. It doesn't matter which order it's in. Just, you can connect them whenever you feel the need to, but make sure to build up the chimney here, because it's very important that you keep the chimney like just bricks and not like overlap it with the logs that I have in my inventory. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so now that we finished all the pillars, what you want to do next is find the entrance and just do that. That's literally just it. But anyways, for the real next thing, what you want to do is fill the in-betweens of the pillars. So what I do is I grab like an oak stair, and I mean spruce stair. And what you do is, where you want windows, you just put this down kind of like that. And leave it as it is, and just go around your build. Again, try to make it symmetrical if your build's symmetrical. If it's not, don't worry about it. You can put windows wherever you want. So yeah, let's just do that quickly. Let's put one here. Looks good on this side, and yeah. Try avoid putting pillars around the chimney. It looks weird. Trust me, I tried it. But anyways, after that, you kind of want to start building up your sides by just placing down stripped birch oak logs. I think they're called stripped birch logs. Yeah. But you kind of just build it up kind of like this on all sides. Avoid like building it up on the window areas, because these will be the windows. And just do that all the way around your build. And if you would want, you can even add some like texture to it by adding sand and other blocks, just to kind of make it more interesting. What I would recommend is like using birch planks, if anything. The sand doesn't look too good, but it's like decent for that sort of thing. But yeah, it's optional, obviously. You don't have to. Not to do this. You can do whatever you want. And yeah, you can just decide for yourself on that. And I'll show you the next part once I'm done the walls. So yeah. Next part, you really just add windows. That's it. So we're gonna skip to the part after that, where we extend some of the walls outwards. Now, here, it's a bit tricky since one side's kind of like this, and yeah. So we're gonna try our best. I've never tackled this before, but we're gonna bring this whole wall out by one, kind of like this, and then build up 5 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And do that on all the logs. Connect them all together like this at the bottom as well. And add stairs at the bottom to make it look like a bit better. Well, we'll add more detail after, but we are gonna do that on all the sides here. That includes the side that's indented right here. It's a very important step, so it's best not to miss it, especially when it's like indented like this one. I would not usually do this, but yeah, just connect all the logs up, do that kind of like this. Just make sure it looks good, doesn't look like wrong or anything. And then you add the stairs again, kind of like this, in a zigzag pattern. And then you would have something that looks like this. Now, you don't have to do this on all sides, but you can do it on some sides. So let's do it here, for example. Let's bring this up 5 blocks. 5 blocks again. 5 blocks again. Connect it like this, like that. And I think that's all the sides we're gonna do it on, because we don't have much space over here, but you guys will. So you can choose whatever walls you want to extend outwards. And I think I forgot to zigzag on this one. Yeah, I did. But yeah, that's all for this. And then after that, well, you will see, because that's the second floor segment. Since we have finished the flooring, all you really do is repeat the same step. You kind of just make the pillars go up like that. Do that all the way around. It's the same repetitive thing as what we did before in the first couple steps. It's the same as the first floor. You can make the pillars like this. It's optional if you want to do it like that. Make it symmetrical on both sides. And yeah, so I'm just gonna skip this, but keep in mind to always put up this. I know it looks ugly, but it will look better. So just keep that in mind when you're building it. Don't ignore the chimney. It's still there. It exists. So yeah, we'll just skip to the roof since it's the same repetitive steps over and over again. And yeah, that's it, really. Again, this is a completely optional step, but it improves your builds. So as you see on the back side, on the extended parts, I made some of the windows kind of like this and just gave it more variety. And of course you can put like a block here and make the windows like the same as the first floor. But if you wanted to, you can make it 3 blocks tall. It's completely up to you. But yeah, I just added some variety to build just to make it look a bit more interesting. And other things as well. If you don't like these logs sticking out, you could just cover them with some trapdoors or like put a button on them. Or just even do this and put buttons on top. I think that would make the building look a bit cooler all the way around. Just kind of making that design sort of there. And then add the buttons on top. Just make it look better. I accidentally broke a block. I'll fix it later. But yeah. That's optional stuff. You don't have to do it. It just makes the build look nice. If you want to, you can. You don't have to. But yeah, I'm done on the walls, so that means it's roof time. It is now roof time, ladies and gentlemen. So if you wish, you can follow what I'm doing, but you can do the roof completely different. It's up to you, honestly. So I'm gonna be teaching you how to do a roof sort of like this, and kind of like flat on these sides, but you can add more detail to them if you want. I'm just going to show you that way because it's the simplest way, even though it looks a bit weird, but it's fine. So what you're going to do on the ones you want to come out, you're going to have to go 1, 1, and then 1. From here, you make the stairs go sideways on this side. You bring it 1 up. You put a stair there. And then, since that's like the peak of the roof, put that there, and then you put like a block, and just put the slab outwards, kind of like that, and you repeat that on both sides of the roof, obviously. And again, with roofs, you want to keep it symmetrical. It's recommended, especially if you're building medieval style. It doesn't look too good, but it looks okay. And then what you want to do next is, I did not prepare for this. You bring up the log, and then you kind of fill it in with any block you want on this side. So say, for example, you want stone bricks. So you kind of just fill in holes so it looks better. And yeah, that's basically what you do for the roof, and you do that sort of pattern all the way around. Like, let's do a bigger example of this, just so you guys further understand, like, what the roof looks like. So, go like this again, we put the block on top, go like this, and this time you do 2 blocks, and you keep making it kind of like that sort of concept. and you add a stair on top. Keep doing that. Maybe like when it's near the top-ish, you make it a bit lower, and then you decide what roof you kind of want after that. You repeat it on both sides, kind of like this. Again, you make it like that, put a block, stair. It's a very repetitive process, but it gets you to the build you want. Kind of like that. That. Place a block. Again. Go like this. This. Summit of the roof. You can do whatever you want with it. I personally just put a block and possibly just put slabs like this. Or like, just make it kind of, yeah, just, or you can put stairs as well. You can do that too. Which honestly, sometimes looks better. Not always, but sometimes. So yeah, it's all your choice. You decide what you want to do with the roof. But for this part, you just build up. If it's like a 2-block center, you just build the pillar 2 wide. And if it's this big, the arch, I would recommend just putting like a log pillar, kind of like that, across. And then dividing into like 2 sections and kind of making the roof design a bit more interesting by adding different blocks, kind of like this. And then maybe add like a contrast color to it by adding the stripped oak log, kind of like that. Do it on both sides, and as you can see, it makes the roof a bit more interesting. And if you want to add more detail, obviously you could just add some buttons or trapdoors just to make this look not just flat, kind of like it is right now. But yeah, that's the basic shape of the roof, and then you kind of build that shape all the way around. And yeah, until you get the shape that you're happy with, then you're good. And for the chimney, you build it up a bit. You don't build it up too much, you just kind of make it rough, kind of like this. You put an acacia fence on top. You put a campfire on top of the fence and just kind of surround it with acacia trapdoors. I choose acacia trapdoors because it just blends with the bricks better than most of the blocks, like the wooden ones. But if you want, you can use a different like trapdoor and stuff. And then what I usually do as like a gradient, I just mix in some granite with the chimney just to show its age in Minecraft. You don't have to do this, but it's completely optional. It's your choice. You can do whatever you want with the chimney. But yeah, after that, you make your roof kind of go around, and you copy, make it symmetrical if it's symmetrical, your build. You don't have to make it symmetrical if you don't want to. Make sure the roof goes all the way around, and yeah. Just kind of follow this. Like if it's like this, just kind of make sure it's like that all the way around. And if it's not, you're gonna have to do some tedious roof work. But just to show you guys, I think I'm gonna just do the whole roof in general. So again, we go like this. Pretend I did not break that block right now. And then do this. This, and if you think you already know how to do this, you can skip this part. I'm fine with that. And okay, we put a stair on top of that. This, and put stair there, block, and then slab. And continue that pattern kind of all the way to the chimney. Same with the stairs. We'll deal with the behind the chimney afterwards, or now actually. As you can see, it ties up with this roof perfectly, so that's a good sign usually. But sometimes it won't, and you'll have to do some tedious work to get it to fit, like how here it's 2 blocks and here it's not. You might want to just build your roof kind of like this to this point where it goes 2 blocks up, and just kind of leave it like that and make your pattern just look good, and try not to rush it. Take your time with it so you can make the houses good as you want it to be. But yeah, I hope you guys liked this tutorial. I hope it was helpful to you. I will show you the final results after I'm finished the build, just to show you like what it would look like after with shaders. But if you don't want that, you could just skip to the end of the video. But yeah, let's roll that clip. So hi, this is future me, realizing that I forgot to step for the roof. I apologize for that. So sit through another like 2 minutes of this. So once you get to like a point where you're following the pattern of the roof and it looks good, it's looking nice. Once you get to the top, you want to make sure you add like a little, like I would say, height to the roof. Kind of like make it look like it's coming from these spots on the roof, and just add height to it. Just make it look like it's attached and like on like sloop. Same goes for this. Make it look kind of like that. So like for example here, I would go like this, maybe a couple blocks out. 1, 2, 3, 4 to be exact. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 on the top. And then I would kind of like make it go down a block after that. Make it line up with the builds and everything. So yeah, just keep that in mind when you're building roofs. Make sure like they don't look, what's the word for it? They don't look like too rough. You want to make it look kind of interesting, kind of catch the eye of the person. You don't want it to look sloppy. So just the thing to keep in mind when you're building something. Like for here, you can see like it's kind of and then it works on some perspectives. Like here it looks way better than it does over there. Some roofs are just gonna be like that. You're gonna have to just kind of deal with it. It's hard to look at, but you'll get used to it. Don't worry about it, just kind of go with the flow, see where it takes you. And now, I'll actually, for real this time, show you the end results on shaders. But yeah, I apologize for my past self not telling you that. Anyways, let's skip to the shaders. And for the reveal with shaders, 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's gorgeous. Okay, so we completely finished the build. We added a bit more detail than last time, as you can see. We added some fences to make it look better, some trapdoors and stuff, some lanterns to light up the build a bit. And let's just take a spin around to see the final results and shaders. I'm actually kind of proud of myself. Not gonna lie, I missed some fence posts. Don't mind me. Just pretend that never happened. I didn't break those. Okay, and then you kind of go around here. But yeah, this is the roof. I'm really proud of it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this project we did here. I hope you guys liked the build that I did in the tutorial. I hope it was helpful to you trying to build medieval houses and stuff. And if you want more content, feel free to subscribe. And I will be posting, I guess like once in a while I will be posting videos on how to build things. I'm gonna even do like futuristic or possibly like terraforming. So just keep a lookout for that. And without further ado, leave a like on this video and share it with friends. I'll see you guys in the next one.